Hello, in this video, here's just one more clip of Joyce Meyer teaching the prosperity gospel. Basically, she says you're a Pharisee if you're against giving your money to televangelists. She then has the audacity to say that the prophet Elijah was like a modern televangelist when he asked the poor widow to feed him in 1 Kings 17. Of course, the difference should be obvious. Number one, Elijah was a prophet of God. Joyce Meyer isn't. And number two, Elijah himself was poor and had nothing, while these televangelists like Joyce Meyer are literally filthy rich. But this is such a con. It's such manipulation. It's a false shepherd fleecing the flock. Listen to what she says.
Learning how to be a giver is one of the greatest things in the world that we can learn. I'll be honest with you, most preachers don't want to do much teaching today on giving because of the attitude that the people have. You can see the mood change when you start talking about giving. What causes a hard heart? Well, there's a whole bunch of things, but a legalistic rule keeper, the Pharisees. You know, Elijah was a great prophet, and he lived by a brook where he was being supernaturally fed during a famine, and the brook dried up, and God sent him to a poor, depressed, seemingly suicidal widow. And you know what Elijah said to her? Give me something to eat and something to drink. And she said, I've only got enough oil and enough meal, enough in the jar for one meal for me and my son, and then we're going to eat it and die. And you know what they didn't have televisions, but if they would have had, he would have been a televangelist. You know what he said to her? Give me some first. Well, I wonder how that would have went over in the media today.
Okay, so people have reasons to be cautious about who they give their money to. But Joyce just rips on Christians and calls them names, Pharisees, in order to squeeze them for more cash. This is so wrong. Now, you may have noticed that the clips were spliced together, and I found this sermon on YouTube. The channel, I think, biblically reviewed it. It's a good channel. You should check it out. But I mentioned that only because somebody is going to defend Joyce Meyer and accuse me of taking her out of context. They'll say something like, you just took a snippet here and there and you're taking things out of context. Well, first of all, I'm going to post a video in a couple days explaining what that term means out of context and how people use it to defend the indefensible. In fact, there are a few heretical false teachers going around our area right now, and pastors are allowing them into churches even though there is a video of them out there teaching blasphemy. And all the pastors are aware of the video, and yet they defend the idea of allowing these guys into the churches because, after all, they say, well, I think they were just taken out of context. My friends, unless something is left out intentionally that totally changes the meaning, it's fine and appropriate to use clips to make a point, clips that are direct, to the point, to make a point. Besides, all of these guys, whether it's the local heretics or Joyce Meyer, all of their material is online for people to listen to. So this is what they believe and teach, and it's not biblical. Someone might say, Mike, why don't you just ignore it? Don't worry about it. Wrong. The scripture commands us as Christians, especially as pastors, to test the spirits. 1 John 4:1. Test the spirits to see whether they are of God. For many false prophets have gone out into the world. When I know people in my church or Christians locally are listening to and being affected by false teachers, it's my job, it's the shepherd's duty to protect the flock. And by allowing false teachers in and allowing them to operate, this puts the flock at risk. Thanks for listening. Until next time, may the Lord be with you, and have a great day.